I've been participating in game jams for 1 second. 5 years? For the last 5 years. And in that time, I've learned a lot about game development and created some pretty cool games for various game jams. But I've never actually released a full game. It's something that's been on my bucket list that I've been thinking about doing. And yeah, this is gonna be a devlog for my first official game that I hopefully will release pretty quickly. I'm trying to keep it a small, simple project that I can finish, but we'll see how well that actually goes. So I'm just gonna show you guys some of the progress video footage I've got, and then I'll show you some gameplay of where the game's at right now, the current state of it. Yeah, so I knew I wanted the game to be similar to Downwell. I'll show you some clips of that in case you're unfamiliar with the game. It's a roguelike where you go down a well and try to get further and further and further, and it's a lot of fun. It's small, it's simple, and it's also made by one person, so it kind of inspired me thinking, hey, if one person can make this, maybe I can make something too. So yeah, this is the earliest clip I have where my idea was similar to Downwell, where you're going down a well, except you can only fire bullets when you're sliding along these electrically charged walls, rails, I guess, whatever you want to call them. Well, initially it was so you could only fire bullets when you were wall sliding. Then I decided early on that I was going to flip that completely and make it so that you go up, because I think it's easier to do the roguelike aspect if you can fall to your death and die and have to start over. Here's one of the earlier clips where I started actually adding some graphics. A lot of the graphics were purchased assets that I have modified slightly. Like this character is from Moustache's platformer sprite kit, and then the platforms are for something else, but I eventually went to Moustache for most of the art, and I'll show a clip of his itch in case anyone's interested in where I got these assets. If any of you guys want to use them, I think they're pretty great. Yeah, so here we go. Here's some more progress. Let's see. This is still just kind of working on the wall slides and polishing. I think I added some bullets. A lot of this gets undone. Then I started working on the background. I had this cool mountain parallax background from an asset pack I'd purchased, and I think it worked pretty good, but it was too dark or too light colored for what I was going for, so I masked it a little bit. And then here I was trying to work on being able to auto tile the platforms and stuff. This didn't go so well for me. I abandoned this. But eventually I started getting something that I think looks pretty good, which is where we get these green platforms. I think they look much better than the ugly purple ones I had before. This is me playing around with the wall slide mechanic, making sure that you can wall slide and wall hop infinitely, but you can only shoot when you're on those blue ones. More wall slide practice, and yeah, just lots of random tweaks and stuff. See, this was me working on random generation. As you can see, it works perfectly, no issues at all. That is exactly what I wanted it to do. Yeah, it turns out that's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to randomly generate things. And if you can see the red and the purple and stuff, I was trying to do, I think, too much. I was trying to do ledge climbs, which are those purple indicators, and then solids are the reds, so like the part you can't actually go through. And I ended up scrapping almost all of this back here. This in these GIFs, you can see I just made everything solid and got rid of the ledge climb completely, because I think it slows the game down too much and it added a level of complexity that wasn't needed. So eventually we get to something closer to this. This is kind of closer to the state I have, except I got rid of those enemies, I believe. I might add them back at some point, but they're kind of basic. Then I started adding collectibles, which I later replaced with Moustache's lovely coin art. Once again, awesome assets from Mr. Moustache. And this is starting to actually feel a little bit more like a level, a cave level. Here is where I have no explanation for what this is, but boy does it look fun. The random generation seems to be working pretty well in this GIF. And then this is me adding my first enemy. I used his art again, but I don't think it fits with the character I have, so I eventually scrapped this as well. That basically brings us up to now. This is the new current state of the game, and I'll just go ahead and play a little bit of it for you guys. As you can see, I got bats. When you get too close to them, they will fly towards you. Whoa! If you fall off the bottom of the screen, you die, and I think that I might be killing you a little too quickly, but yeah, the bat will come to you. You can hop on their heads to knock them out, or you can shoot them on by sliding on these walls. When you're on the walls and you jump, you go flying way further than you would if you jumped off of other things. And I think I'm gonna update the bullets so that they go towards the closest enemy instead of just in a straight pattern like that. I've mostly just been working on getting the controls to feel right. I've got touchpad and controller support, as well as keyboard and random generation and my first enemy. And I think I'm gonna have, you know, 3 or 4 stages, potentially a boss battle maybe, definitely unlockable characters and stuff like that I would like to have in here. But right now the plan is I just want to make something small and fun that I can actually finish. And that is hopefully this game. I did some cool stuff. So like I'm trying to use built-in tricks, like when they flash white like that, that is not a different sprite, but a tinting of the sprite, so that, you know, they can take damage at any frame they're on, and I don't have to make a whole new, you know, for their flying thing, for instance, I didn't have to make like a whole new flying animation where they're hit. I just can flash it white for a second. Pretty sweet. And you can see we've reached the top of the level where the moon starts to show. I don't want that moon there, so I'm gonna have to hide it. The bat's the only enemy I've got right now. I'm gonna add more, obviously, but I've really just been getting the guts of the game working. So it goes on forever now. You can collect coins, you can shoot the bats, you can jump on the bats' heads, and I'm hoping it'll be fun. It feels fun to play. Like, it feels fun sliding around and shooting off of things. Also, you may notice that your energy for how long you can ride up the rails is that green bar at the top, and it depletes over time. Once it runs out, you start to slide down, and it doesn't recharge until you're standing on the ground. Pretty sweet, right? All right, so I got nothing else, guys. If you've made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. I know this is a short little intro, but if there's some interest, I will continue to post devlogs. If you see this and you got some enemy suggestions or anything, please feel free to drop a comment and I'll be happy to add them. Yeah, I'm pretty much, there's not really a design doc to this right now. It's just gonna be a small, simple game where you go up, and I'm gonna focus on polishing it and making the parts that I can make as fun as possible. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.